Wagwan. So, I had to let the topic on Zoe Quinn rest for a bit because I don't want to spend all my time focusing on only Chelsea, because the problem is that there's details and information that needs to come out first. It's a game of Twitter chicken, you see. Instead, I want to posit a question to you, dear fine audience. Why do you think Zoe Quinn ran away from the internet? It's an easy question to ask. You know, I asked it the first time when we all discovered that she had deactivated her account. We all said, and I said, "Where's Zoe Quinn?" Made a hashtag about it, gathered a couple of opinions, a couple of takes, a couple of predictions, including my own, and without doubt, without fail, almost, 3 days later, she comes back. Claims that her account was being attacked, that people tried to break into it, and that deactivating the account turned off the two-factor authentication. It's not surprising she chose to act like a victim. But the question I have to ask, on top of where is she right now, what is she doing, who is she talking to, is why did she run? The best way I can really answer that for you is to answer it with another question. Have you been paying attention to what's going on with Funimation? Now, I know most of you guys are like, who fucking cares? But no, really. Have you been paying attention to Victor Joseph Monona versus Funimation LLC and Company for $1.17 million? Because that case is everything you need to know. The affidavits, the paperwork, the timeline as constructed not just by Kiwi Farms but by the law offices of Beard, Herrick, Bullock, and Hughes. And now the affidavit of Chuck Huber, as well as the fallout of what has been revealed within the last 48 hours. When I made the first video about Dragon Ball's SuperFucked, I wanted to just note on the fact that the leaks made Funimation glow in the dark. Because the problem with the leaks, the reason why the leaks are important, for people who don't understand, the leaks are important because the leaks are the tip of the iceberg. And I knew it was the tip of the iceberg because it was very easy. See, you start off with, we don't like him because he's a bad person. And then they reveal, what the fuck you talking about? Y'all as nasty as y'all claim he is. And then they follow up with, no, we're just clowning around, guys, it's just voices. We're just playing games. And then the next thing came out. Now y'all have been revealed, both the women and the men, participating in casting couch shenanigans. And then y'all go to, well, it didn't personally affect us. We knew about it, but it wasn't our story to tell. Next thing came out. Now Mr. Sabat is about to get ultra fucked. See, it's not bad enough that y'all fucked yourselves over. It's not bad enough that you super fucked yourselves. Y'all have ultra fucked yourselves. You have giga fucked yourself. You have Zeta fucked yourself. And how is that? Well, let's follow our thinking brains, right? Let's use our common sense. If you accuse Victor of being a monster, right? If you say, look at him, he has all this power, he has all this influence, he is a very dangerous person, don't believe anything he says, remember, he's an actor. When you make a statement like that, right, and you follow that up with lies, aspersions, bullshit, accusations, nonsense, that doesn't matter because it's just a couple of things here and there, He propositioned two girls who were consenting adults into asking if they wanted to have a threesome. They said no. He politely said, oh, cool, I'll just excuse myself then. And leaves. Because he's a red-blooded male and knows that these girls, who very clearly are about that life, did not know that he was just going to up out and expose them like that. Because, he's a man and he has eyes. He engages in a consensual relationship taking place at the offices of Funimation. Because he, much like Chuck, and much like Monica, and Jamie, and Amanda, and Christopher, every single person, Sean Schimmel, Damon Mills, the Literally Who's, all of them know that Funimation have not had an actual sexual harassment policy. They haven't had an actual book for them to reference. There has not actually been any posted material about it for the long-standing time they've had in their careers. We all know it because it's an open secret inside of any business that has anything to do, even adjacent to acting. There's going to be some fucking. Someone's clapping someone's cheeks. Whether or not you choose to accept that between the actors or between even some people who could be adjacent to the production departments is neither here nor fucking there. But the point is, he knows he's in an environment of people who are very, very sexually active adults, who participate in some lewd, risque behavior, and very clearly, from the leaks which we had on mic, even the women have no problem getting involved in. He shares a consensual kiss with this person and even takes part in a consensual relationship with them while engaged to his then fiancée. That's really the slightest of the sins you can really say exists on Victor's shoulders. But look over here. Now we have Christopher Sabat, Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and even Kara Edwards attempting to defend Chris from the fact that he is in a power position. Because remember, that was the first onset of that, right? You can't listen to Victor because Vic has power over people's careers. And yet, y'all didn't seem to think about what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like. That Christopher Sabat can go directly to Justin Cook, can go directly to Jamie Marchi, go directly to any member of higher management, including the HR departments, and has such directorial overreach over the company that he's able to produce shows out of his own personal business. Not just businesses, his film business and his proper voice recording studio, Okratron 5000. You didn't ask yourself, this person who's saying you shouldn't trust this guy, he has too much power, seems to have a lot of fucking power. I wonder if he's actually doing this shit in his company. And apparently he did. Because if he didn't, why exactly was Naldoni and Vollmer rejected when they were casting for Kai? Why is it that Chuck Huber can be able to attest to that this is behavior that they have in his affidavit? Can't stick that one on Kiwi Farms. It's straight from the fucking horse's mouth. Either Kiwi Farms are godlike and you should be listening to them always, or the actors themselves know some shit and they've only been pressed to say something because the ones that had nothing to do with it and didn't even know are going to tell the truth because that's the only thing they can do. And the ones that did know, who said nothing then, are going to be all canaries now because they know that it's truth time. And when truth time comes, it's no longer about whether or not you can stand with the crowd. It's about saving your fucking career. Because now, what are you going to do? Who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame the fans? Where you tell them the real fans are the people who supply and listen and believe you after spending 8.5 months bullying them and telling them that they're not allowed to ask you questions? Are you going to turn around and say, oh no, it's the industry's fault? No, it's not. Y'all are friends with each other. You're indistinguishable from anime YouTubers right now. You're actively putting your opinions and putting your personal emotions into what's supposed to be a professional job. And all of these unprofessional people who've been basically given a silver fucking platter, they're not about to risk their careers for you. The ones who did absolutely nothing wrong, and they just had to stand with you because that was the thing that they had to do. Otherwise, they would have gotten fucked over. Those people are going to be super pissed with you if they have to clean house. Because look at this from the position of Funimation, right? Don't look at this from the position of a fan. Look at this from the position of the executive that's going to have to be over the Funimation cleanup. Because this is a fucking PR disaster. You have to understand that you just fucked yourself hard. Any person who is allied with Sabat is going to be put on a list. They're going to be given to the list of the Sony Japan executive, and the Sony English executive is going to have to do whatever the fuck Japan asks for. Because Toei is going to be out for blood. Because these actors have besmirched not just the companies, but their brand and their IP. They're not about to let that shit slide. Remember, they pulled one of their veteran actors out of the fucking convention at Kamehacon. You know, the thing that both Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and Christopher Sabat committed torturous interference on their contracts with by attempting to levy their appearance to bully them into kicking Vic. They're going to look to you, and they're going to ask, how much is your contract worth? We're going to pay it out double for you to fuck off. And if you don't take the severance back, they're just going to outright fire you and then blacklist you from the entire community. Because all they have to do is just tell the truth. That's all anybody has to do. By this time next year, after everything's been said and done, if this is not still in the courts, this case is going to become the wall-to-wall caterwaul for all of the mainstream media. Why? Because this is a Me Too case. This is a case of women and men who lied about another man who is guilty of some things, but not guilty of all the things they've accused him of, having to prove in a court of law in front of the eyes of everyone, including himself and God, that he is not a snake that glows in the dark. He might be a scoundrel, but he's not a monster. And the people who put them there on that stand that made him take this stand are people who were not only ready to stab him in the back after waiting 20 years for all of the perfect time and planning to do so, but actively chose to then shiv each and everyone else next to them to be the one that was not left holding this bag. I said this when the reveal came out, right? That paperwork, that document, the 1,188 page document of the deposition notes, of its transcripts, of the original repeal against the TCPA, the affidavits, the statements, all the references, and all of Ron Toye's tweets, all of that shit is a timeline. You can't get away from this now. It's always forever going to be mired. You can't blame Nick. You can't blame Kiwi Farms. You can't blame Pool. You cannot blame Reset Era. You can't even blame Twitter. Blame yourselves. You played the game. You rolled snake eyes. You lost. If you keep pushing hard now, this is only going to get worse for you all. The actors and the people in the executive positions. The first thing that Funimation should have done when it was revealed that this shit was coming to light is they should have said, shut the fuck up, stop talking, or we're going to fire you. But, you know, you had to be stunning and brave. You had to be stunning and brave when you could have just been honest. I'm going to enjoy this bonfire, and I didn't even have to light this one myself. Links to the articles and descriptions and information will be below. You guys have yourself a good one. Stay woke. Stay woke.